So today I'm just fucking messing around, trying to figure out how to use CRT TBS. And honestly, this is not a trade I'm supposed to take, but I'm just kind of messing around. I just want to see price move for a bit. So let me go ahead and just see some stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna backtest a bit because why the hell not? So here. This is a CRT candle, right? The greens and the reds are like A plus candles. You know, so I guess that's cool. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Jesus. There's nothing yet. So this really helps though. Like this helps with filtering out like a lot of different pairs. That's really nice. You can just scroll through until you get like a red or something, like a red or green candle. And then all you do is just you kind of mark them through, mark up the key levels that are, with the trade, or that are with it. And just you move on, just keep going until you get, all the stuff there is that you would need to trade. Right now I'm just trying to honestly, get good at figuring out how to actually trade CRT TBS. Honestly, I feel like if I can just get good at one strategy, that should be good enough for my entire lifetime. So, and the thing is, I've been trading CRT since January 13. I remember the date exactly. And it was that I always the moment I started trading CRT, and you would see this on my channel, right? It was a long ass time that I actually traded it, like 4 months consistently. So I was pretty good. I was pretty eye with this, right? This was a good strategy that I actually liked, right? Only thing I didn't like was the fact that it had it was genuinely unprofitable in the long term. Somehow I made money with it. I guess it's just beginner's luck. But yeah, with that, I just kind of kept trading, and the thing is, during the first or first-ish month, the whole of January, while I was learning how to trade CRT, um, it was basically I was just I was learning how and why price goes above previous candle high, and then goes above COD high, and then goes to the other side of the range, right? And I was learning from Romeo. I was learning all from his all of his courses and everything. And after that, I was like, okay, I've learned some shit now. Let me go ahead and put it in the live market. So I actually traded on a little live account for a bit, and you know, I kind of made a bit of money, but then in the end, I was just huh, this doesn't feel right. I don't think I'll be consistent with this. So I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna change and trying to figure out how to use CRT way better, right? Because at that point I was like, yeah, CRT is definitely how the way the market moves, right? And I still believe it today, right? Price will manipulate into something, into a higher low, and to then continue, moving the way it wants. Uh, Everything is in ranges, right? Every candle is a range. I subscribe to that theory, right? And me doing that, and I still do that today, right? So I really do think CRT is what I think I'll use, right? So what I just want to say is during that time period where I was still trying to learn how to use CRT, I was just basically um I was just basically how do I say this? There was this one strategy that I just kept coming back to, right? I called it wait, do I even have it? I feel like I have it on here. The CRT model or something. I wrote it down hella long ago. Um I guess I can show, but I had it noted down with just 3 steps. Number 1, CRT, number 2, Keylevel number 3, model number 1. And like I just had that written down. And the thing is, like, once every month I was like trying to change to another strategy, every single, just because like I just felt like it, right? I couldn't stick to one thing for a long enough time, and I still can't today, right? Even now, right? So I'm trying to like actually fix that. And so with that, like, I just decided, fuck this shit, man. Let me actually log in. So I logged in for 4 months straight. You guys saw that on YouTube. It was like 40 videos, 40 trades long. I actually stuck to something that was like pretty long. So honestly, that was pretty. That was like a very good time period for me during that time. And basically, that one strategy of number 1 CRT candle, number 2 key level, number 3 model number 1. I just stuck to that for 4 months, right? And then after that, I was like, after those 4 months, I just kind of, I don't know what I was doing, bro. But I was trying to find other strategies. I don't know, man. I just didn't feel confident that that strategy was gonna be profitable. So I just decided to just start changing things, and eventually I got to the point where, you know, now, right, I'm JTP, right? JTP is a whole different strategy, and like thing is, I've already switched like 2 to 3 strategies even with this time period of like 20 days, bro. It hasn't even been a month and I can't even stick to one strategy. That's how bad like my current psychology is. And like that just kind of sucks, I guess, you know. So the thing is, I've always just like always, and I mean always, stuck to just one thing. Like it always came back to it always came back to that one strategy of 1 2 3 CRT candle Keylevel model number 1. It always came back to that, where to the point like I honestly have this kind of like what tradition that every time I'm trying to switch to new strategies and stuff like related to CRT, I always come back to that strategy. So like I think that the fucking thing about this is that I'm always coming back to this strategy. There's something about this strategy that just kind of like draws me in, you know? So like I feel like at that point, you know, I should honestly just stick to this, you know? I should honestly just figure out a way to trade this, stick to it, and then I'll probably be fucking profitable. You know, like what you know what I mean? 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is a TBS. Never mind. This might be a TBS soon. I'm not gonna trade these, by the way. I only want to trade the majors. Right. Fucking hell. So I feel like with this rant that you guys get nothing from, I'm just gonna say it, man. Like I think CRT key level and then model number 1 is just the way for me to trade, honestly. Like if I can just get that, then I'll probably be profitable. Like honestly, I'll probably be fucking profitable. I just can't control myself that good. So, today is Monday the 18th of August 2025, and I think should be the day that I actually start like trading this, right? So this model that I'm like currently doing is CRT TBS. Basically, it's you get, hold on, let me just show this like simply, right? You get your CRT candle, okay? All right, you get that. You get your candle. Actually, that sucks. Okay. Step 1 is finding a good CRT candle. The only rule with this is that it can be any color, right? It can be any color. The only thing that is important about this is that the wicks are smaller than the body, right? So in here, the wicks are totally smaller than the body, right? But if it was in this case, like let's say like here, right, which is definitely possible, you can see that the wicks are definitely longer than the body, right? And you can actually figure this out by just, measuring the wicks. right? So you get what? You get yourself 56, right? 56 on this, on the lower end, and you get yourself 63. 56 minus 63, that's about 7, right? So 7, and the wick is, um, shit, 10, right? So it's basically 73 minus 56, or whatever, right? But you get the point, right? The wicks are longer than the body, right? So that's not a good CRT candle. That is not A plus, right? So once you found that thick body, that the body is bigger than the wicks, and you can figure this out mathematically, and if like the body and the wicks are like perfectly equal, then just kind of skip it, because that's not gonna be great, right? And from what my mentor does is that he uses the broker FX, or like FXCM, right? He uses that broker, and so yeah, cool, right? So like after so that was step one, right? Step one, you find yourself the CRT candle, pretty cool, right? Second step, you just mark out the high and low. Okay, you mark out the fucking high and low of the CRT. This is called CRT high. It is a range high, right? You can see here, I've marked it out. I'm showing it live right now. There's actually a setup going on right now. Basically, this candle, if I just take off, right? This candle, the bodies are way bigger than the wicks, so that is a plus CRT candle, right? That's cool and all. So after you found that candle, next thing you do is, so this is step one, find your CRT candle, mark out the CRT high and the CRT low. Step two, find a key level. Now a key level can be anything from an old high, an old low, FEG, supply and demand / order block, and rejection block. Now I don't use rejection blocks. I don't think AR even uses. I don't think like my mentor, AR trading, he even uses it. Um, but yeah, so you can find usually the most common key level is like old high or low. He calls it OHP or OLP, old high perch or old low perched. Basically what it is there's just a swing high or a swing low, right? You don't even need to mark this one out, right? This one could be perfectly valid, right? The only rule with it is that these highs cannot be like taken by any other candle except the CRT candle and the manipulation candle. If like any other candle other than those two takes the key levels, or even taps it by even a tick, then like the key level is like invalid, right? The only reason this high, for example, was not used as key level is because other candles tapped it, which isn't the candle we were trying to trade, right? So here, the CRT candle / accumulation candle was the one that took the high, the swing high, right? It doesn't even have to be this high. It could be this. With the way we're going, it might even come up to here, but I don't think it is. So yeah, that is step two, right? Step two, you can find key levels. Let's just say, for example, we found a key level right here, right? Make it blue because I like it blue that way, right? So once you found that, very nice. You have your higher time frame done, okay? Now what you do now is you are gonna look for the lower time frame entry, which is basically this, okay? Price comes up, takes the high, and then gives the specific entry pattern, and then you just take it all the way down, right? That is what it is, right? So what is this specific entry pattern? It is basically like an old high on the lower time frame getting closed above by a body, okay? Once that old high gets closed above, the candle that closed above the high getting closed below, and I'm promising you, this is not a CISD, this is not like a breaker structure, nothing. This is called Model 1, which is just an order block, but it's more like an advanced order block. I don't know why, but it is. Basically an old high getting closed above, and then that is called the TBS, the turtle body soup. The TBS is basically a turtle soup, but it was made by bodies, right? Which is way higher probability than if it was just a wick. If it was just a wick, I guess that's not as high probability or as easy to see, right? So after that, all you do is you just wait for the high, or the low, or the body, or the candle that took this high, that closed above it cleanly, okay, to then be closed below, right? Let me draw it like here, right? Imagine this was the candle that closed above it, right? This is the lower time frame candle that closed above it. Okay, you just wait for that candle to be closed below, and then you just look to enter either on the break itself, on the closure below, or you can look for a retest entry, take it to the 50% of the CRT, that is the target number one, or and then target number two is the opposing end of the CRT. That is basically the strategy. That's the way he's been teaching it for like the past 7 months. I haven't been actually looking through it. So now you can see this is a example of a failed one. So here, CRT high gets taken above an old high. It got closed above. So once this candle that took this high and closed above it cleanly, like this, okay, it didn't wick above. It didn't wick above stupidly like this, okay. It was a clean break. There's no wicks above in front of the high. That is a clean TBS, right? So this is now the Model 1 candle, the order block candle, right? The moment it gets closed below is the moment you would enter short, targeting, stop loss on the extreme high, and then just targeting like whatever you're comfortable with, either 1 to 2 or something like that. But here you can see this one failed, so it is what it is. This strategy does give like hella high RRs if you're like patient enough with it. The win rate, for AR, apparently gets like 85 to 90% win rates. Now even I know that's fucking impossible with this, right? It is fucking impossible. At most it's probably like a 50% win rate, right? So even with a 50% win rate, which is pretty possible with this strategy, right? You could just like target 1 to 2s and you'll be profitable, right? Am I wrong? No, you're not, right? No, I'm not. Fuck. So in this example, CRT went ahead and lost. To TBS went ahead and lost. That's pretty much fine. You could definitely attempt with like 5-minute TBS, but for him, his time frame alignment is 1 hour to 1 minute. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that, right? In this example, we do lose, but it is whatever, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that be. Let's move on to another example if we do have any. Let's see here. Okay, so here's an example of a bad TBS. Okay, so you can see here there's an old high, right? Now the only rule with TBS is that it has to be the extreme, right? So in this case here, it did take the high, the CRT high. It did have a key level, right? An old high on the all the way back. Did it have a TBS? It did have this one, right? But then it made a swing high. The rule is that once it makes a swing high after doing the close above an old high thing, is that it must not take the extreme high. If it does, it pretty much invalidates the TBS, which is something I've just decided to make up myself. And so in this example, in this push up, there was no definitely no TBS, right? So we will wait for a new TBS. Here we do have an old high, a swing high. Now, this thing did get closed above. The only problem with this TBS is that the fact that there's actually a wick in front of the high, before the close. This wick makes this TBS lower probability, or slash pretty much invalid, right, for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this high wouldn't count. Now for him, for like AR, he doesn't take old highs that are like 6 candles that are like more than 6 candles away from the break. So this close above of the highs, it was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles away. Now 7 candles away, he does not like that, right? Maximum for him is 6, okay? So we skip that, okay? And here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is not a valid TBS just because it did not, do what you wanted, right? It did not um, follow the rules of the 6 maximum candles. And you would be thinking like, okay, why didn't this count? Because um, one candle in between the break is actually invalid as well. It has to be a minimum of a 2. It has to be minimum 2 candles. 2 is the minimum that you need to have in between before the break. And 6 is the maximum you can have before the break, okay? If you have more than 6 candles in between before the close above the high, it's an invalid TBS. I don't know why, but it is, so just follow the damn rules, I'm not even profitable with this strategy, but I'm just trying to like make a benchmark so I can return back to this video when I need it, I guess. Let's see here, this candle, this has not taken the high yet. So you can see here, this is definitely a good TBS example. We have a swing high. In this case, we would take this as the high, right? Okay. I guess that's how we just take it. So you go ahead, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, this fits the 2 to 6 rule. So this is a TBS, right? The only thing that is stopping us from taking this trade is the fact that it has not taken a key level yet, right? There is no key level. Now this would count as a supply zone. However, as I said, the only candles that touch the key levels must be the CRT candle and the manipulation candle. And you can see here, this candle actually tapped this order block. So this order block would be invalid, okay? And it would be this high that we're looking for. And I believe if there is a TBS before, and TBS and then a Model 1 entry before the tap of the key level, I'd say that is invalid for the entire trade idea, right? So here, this would be the order block candle, the thickest candle, right? How do I say this right? If a high gets closed and it's within the rules, this is automatically the Model 1 candle, right? Automatically the Model 1 candle, okay? But if the like continuing candles are thicker than, the bodies are thicker than the wicks, that could also this now becomes the new Model 1, right? And now you might be asking, okay, why isn't this candle a Model 1 candle? Well, you can see here the wicks are definitely way longer than the body, so this is not a good order block candle. However, the body is longer than the wicks. Now I have an indicator that does this, so you can see. Yeah. This would be the order block, right? Now the only reason this trade isn't good is the fact that it hasn't hit key level yet, and that also if there is already a TBS and Model 1, like in this example, before like a key level gets tapped, you do not want to enter that, and also you would want to disregard the entire trade idea because it should not be doing that. Let's keep moving on. Just gonna make as much value I can into just one singular video. Video? The fuck? Okay, so we have a key level tap. Let me ask you again, is this a TBS? It was a swing high. It did get closed above, but there is a wick in between. That is not a TBS, okay? This example, this might be an amazing example here, right? But is this a TBS? Hell fucking no. Okay? No. Because there's only one candle in between before the closure above this high. There must be at minimum 2 candles, okay? If there was 2 candles between this high and this break, then that would be a valid TBS, right? But in this case, there was only one candle, so there's definitely not a good, TBS. It's not. It's just not. So this trade idea is still kind of valid, I would say. Gonna keep it on my charts for a bit. Just making this video because I don't have anything else to do. I could probably go help out my mom in the medicine store, the pharmacy right now, but I'm just fucking bored, bro. I believe that's all the things I have for today. Let's see here. Already have a key level taken. TBS. We have a TBS right there. However, it made it swing high and it also take it, so that's invalid. We're also looking at a possible new TBS, right? So yeah, I don't know about it. Just continuing right now. The majors don't have anything, right? Other than USD JPY, but I'm not gonna trade USD JPY. It just has a little bit more spread than the others, so I'm just gonna stay away from it. So yeah, that's pretty much a video on the strategy that I'm just gonna stick to for like the next 3 to 6 months, honestly. If I can just stick to just this strategy that I've always been coming back to for just 3 to 6 months, I'll probably be profitable. Like honestly, I probably will be profitable, you know? So yeah, with that said, I'm going to try my best to just stick to CRT and TBS. Okay? This strategy does it does work with my, my personality. My personality is that I am impatient as fuck. I want a trade every single day. I think that's pretty normal for like most beginners, honestly. I'm addicted to this shit, honestly. Obsessed with this, right? But I'm pretty impatient. I do want to trade every single day, and this strategy probably does give it. As you can see, we just went through a whole lot of pairs, but we got like 1 or 2 trades that already lost, but um, I think like on average, I should probably get like 3 trades, 2 to 3 trades a week. Like I think that's pretty normal for this strategy on the majors, on the major pairs, right? And then like my next personality trait is that I want to be calculated with my risks, right? So with my previous strategy, the confirmed displacement slash FEG continuation trading strategy that I've been doing some time ago, like literally the last week. It was basically like I could not at all risk properly, right? I was doing my best to risk as close as I can to 1%, but like it was always either like 0.7% or like 0.14%, right? I just could never risk properly, and I just don't like that, right? I want to like be able to just calculate a lot size, calculate my risk, put a limit order so that when price comes into the limit order, it immediately buys slash sells whatever I want it to, and then it just sets my stop loss and TB automatically. And like the thing is, I do not want to manage my trades. Like the moment I put this limit thing down, I do not want to and like manage my trades at all. That is just one thing I do not want to do, right? I do not want to just like sit on the charts, fucking waiting to see, oh shit, should I go break even? Oh shit, like this is my reverse. I should probably exit now, take profits. I don't want to manage my trades, man. I just want to I just want to like put a damn trade in, put a limit order, put my stop loss, put my TP, fucking leave the charts alone, bro. Like I just want to do that, right? That is what my personality is. And this strategy definitely works with it. The only problem maybe is that you know, I don't really think there is much of a problem. Like this is pretty much what I resonate with. So I guess this does work a hell of a lot. I can find a trade, 2 to 3 times a week, and that's honestly pretty good, right? With a high enough win rate and 1 to 2 RR on all my trades, I probably will be profitable, right? And like I think I should get at least a 40 to 50% win rate. So I'll be profitable no matter what, right? With that being said, I just need to get good at executing and actually being patient, because if I am not, then I'm going to get cooked, right? Um, so yeah, I guess this strategy does fit my personality of being impatient as fuck, but I do want to be calculated, right? And I don't want to be on the charts managing shit. I just want to let it be, bro. Put in the work for like, an hour a day, and then I don't want to do any more work. Like, you get me? You get me? I want to focus on other shit, right? This is not a trade I'm supposed to take. I'm just bored, right? The key level was not hit. I just put this on the chart because why the hell not? I'm probably gonna lose, I'll be honest. It did come pretty fucking close to like the CRT low, so that's pretty cool. Here's the higher time frame view. Sorry, gosh. Right? There's no key level with this strategy, right? We have a thick candle. The body is bigger than the wicks. Price comes up, takes the high, so we're immediately looking for key levels on the what do you call this, premium array, right? Premium arrays. So you got the swing highs, you got the FEGs up there, you got the order blocks up there, right? But basically, if you have a swing high that's already taken or is like very close to be taken, just mark that out, right? You don't need to mark anything else out. That's pretty much all you need to do, right? And like that's what I like about this strategy, right? You can filter out hella trades just by like going through like the routine, right? Like just what I said, right? I'm using this indicator, right? Green and red are the thick candles, and then the other colors that aren't green and red are like candles that have wicks longer than the bodies, right? So you can just like go through your pairs that you're trading, and you can see pretty much today, this Monday, there was no pairs other than GBUSD which had a thick candle. You could argue USD JPY had one, but the thing is I don't trade USD JPY, right? I don't trade that shit. I do not know why. I just don't. Okay, so shut up. So yeah, man, I think I'm just gonna have to like stick to this strategy. I'm pretty sure even if I don't, and like I go ahead and try to figure out more strategies, go back test everything and everything, like eventually I'm probably gonna come back to this, right? Because this is what I do resonate with, right? I fully like I fully agree to the fact that price is nothing but ranges, right? Let me show you, okay? I fully agree to the fact that price, before it moves, it always takes out one side of the market before moving to the other side. I fully agree to that fact, right? You're gonna see here, price took out this low, boom, before moving higher. Same as this, right? Price took out these highs, right? All these highs before moving lower, right? I fully and I mean fully agree to that fact. Liquidity, right? If price wants to move, it needs orders, and orders are only found on stop losses and take profits, right? Here, there's hella stop losses, right? There's people that are shorting the markets, okay? Like I'm just saying, right? Shorting the markets and putting their stop losses on this high, okay? There's people doing that, right? There's people doing that right now, right? And they're trying to fucking get like 1 to 10 type trades, right? Trying to follow the trend or some shit, right? With that, like, if price ever wants to actually move down, it is going to take out all of these orders to get liquidity, and then like the banks, the institutions, they all want this stop loss, because other than like, because like we're retail traders, right? Let's be honest. We're trading with like 2,000, like $20, $50, $500. We're like trading with like really really small amount of money, right? And that's just like a collective whole of the trading world, right? We're trading really really small, okay? The banks, on the other hand, they're trading millions every fucking second, okay? They need orders. They need large amount of orders to get their to get their positions, right? Because they can't just like put $1 million. They can't just buy $1 million right here, right? There's not enough people selling $1 million worth of a GU right at this point, right? But there is a lot of people who would sell probably millions of dollars at this high, okay? And so that's what people target. That's what the banks would target, right? The banks would just come up, take up the high, and then once they've taken up the high, they go ahead and enter their positions because everyone else is stopped out. They all sold millions of dollars worth of their money, and then the banks are just entering their $1 million of worth of money, of positions, to then fucking target hella more money, right? To target more liquidity, right? Because they can't just exit millions of dollars worth of trades willy-nilly. They can't just do that, right? They need to target stop losses where there's like buyers and everything, right? There's people buying and their stop losses are here. Okay? So they will target the stop losses, right? I fully agree to that fact that banks and institutions and the market makers that manipulate the market, they are always targeting stop losses, right? To then move to their desired places, right? So honestly, I agree to the fact, right? And the also other thing is that I agree to the fact that CRT slash every candle is a range theory is definitely true, right? You can see here, this is a bad example. This is like not a very beautiful example right here, right? But this is an order block. That's a very bad order block. Okay, but whatever, right? You can see here on the lower time frame that this 1 hour candle was a lot of stop losses, right? There's a lot of people selling up here. I mean, buying up here, and there's a lot of people selling down here. Okay. The banks are basically just targeting these candle highs and candle lows on the higher time frame, but on the lower time frame, they're actually stop loss areas, right? They're just targeting these areas so they can enter their positions to target the opposite end of the candle, okay? They're just doing that, okay, to make money. So yeah, with that fact, like I do agree to CRT is the fact that price takes out stop losses in form of like candles, right? In form of candles, price takes them out. Okay, you can see here in this example, right? This candle on the higher time frame, it just has an open, low, high, and close, right? But on the lower time frame, let's say the daily, or for the daily, let's go to the 1 hour, right? You can see here, price took out the high, which on the price took out this candle high. If I like show it better, it looks like this in candle form, in like lower time frame form, right? This is 1 candle worth of data right here. Price takes out the previous candle's high, which basically has a lot of people like selling, and they're putting their stop losses on this high, right? And there's a lot of people buying and they're putting their stop loss on this high, on this low, right? So what price does is that price will stop them out, and after they've stopped them out, and like there's enough orders for the banks to get involved, they go and sell somewhere around here, I don't know, somewhere, to then target what? the other side or slash the stop losses, right? That's pretty much all that they do, right? So CRT is basically, and you can see here, right, exactly here, once this side, the lows have been taken out, there's stop losses up here now, okay? There's stop losses up here now. Me trying to draw this nicely. Fucking hell, can you just go up? Okay, there's stop losses up there now. And once the banks took out these lows, which had a lot of people selling now, right? People are selling, they're trying to like, oh shit, price is going down. Everyone sell, sell, sell. They just go ahead and buy every single one of these orders to then just target what? More stop losses. And I fully agree to that fact, right? My entire trading strategy is based on that fact that price targets stop losses and stop losses again. Everything targets stop losses in the markets. Without stop losses, the market doesn't move. With stop losses, the market does move, and it moves in pretty predictable ways. Right? And CRT is just a way to predict how those stop losses are going to be stopped out, and then to target which side, you know. That's pretty much it for this rant. I just said a whole lot of fucking nothing. You can see here another example, you know. I'm gonna like put them on dotted lines. I do not like lines like that. It's so ugly. Okay. This candle, high, low, okay. Going to the lower time frame, what do you see? What do you see on the lower time frame of a candle? Stop losses, okay? You see sell stop losses down here, you see stop losses up here. What the fuck does price do? Price takes out the stop losses, and then guess what? The banks start entering, right? Everyone is buying up here, right? Everyone is fucking buying up here. They all think price is gonna continue going up. They all think price has broken up, right? And then guess what? They target the other side, right? The market is just trying to screw everyone over. Okay, that's all. That's the entire job. They make money by screwing people over. They target stop losses and then target other stop losses to make fucking money. Obviously. No, yeah. See here. Look at this. This looks immaculate. This looks so good. Right? There's just no key level, sadly. That's just one candle, right? But on the lower time frame, you can see that it was stop losses. Stop losses, okay? It would make more sense to like target this as a stop loss, but for CRT, it is a timed range, okay? CRT is it does say every candle has a high and low, and every candle on the lower time frame is a whole ass range to trade, right? Basically, yeah. So this is considered the high where stop losses are placed, okay? Just follow that rule, you'll make more money, okay? What do you see? Price takes out stop losses. Everyone is selling down here. Everyone's selling. Loads upon loads of millions of fucking orders to sell. Guess what? The banks and institutions, they buy that shit up. And then what do they target? Like stop losses here, stop losses here, stop losses all the way up here. Those are their targets. And they fucking make money like that, bro. That's basically CRT. And like that's all I'm trying to do, right? All I'm trying to do is just try to be on side with the manipulation and, enter when the banks are entering. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do, really. If I can just do that, then that's pretty nice. Okay, wait. GBJPY? This looks good. Okay, wait. GBJPY? This looks fucking good. You can see this here is a TBS. Okay. So, guess what? This range, this 1 hour candle, this is from 8 a.m. to 8:59, okay? There's a high, there's a low, okay? That is an entire range you can trade. Price takes out this high. Everyone's pretty much buying. But the fact that it's on a lower time frame, the fact that it's like minutely, no one is putting much stop losses on these highs and lows, right? Sure, there might be like loads of scalpers and like maybe intraday traders that are like putting their stop losses on these highs and lows. That's kind of a reason why higher time frame CRTs and higher time frame candle like range manipulations are like way higher probability. Is that price on the lower time frames, on lower time frame CRTs, they just don't have enough liquidity to actually move the markets and entice banks to actually enter, right? They just don't do that normally, okay? So one way to kind of like filter out those fake manipulations on the lower time frame is to wait for a TBS or another manipulation, right? So you can see here, price took out this high, didn't react much, and then it started moving upwards, stopping all these people out, moved a little lower. There's stop losses on here now, moved higher. Pretty much everyone's buying, buying, buying. Guess what? This is the manipulation candle, right? This is a Model 1 candle. The thick candles that following it, so it'll be this one. This is the most recent thick candle, right? The moment this candle got closed below is the moment the banks have fucking entered. Guess where do you enter? Right? The banks already entered, like they're up here already. They've already entered their positions. They're already ready to shoot out, right? The only reason like price would ever come back to these candles, to the Model 1 candles, is that they want to like rebalance the price a little bit before moving again, you know? To just make sure like governments and everything else, they don't suspect that the markets are actually manipulated by them. But the reality is that it is actually kind of actually manipulated by them. So here you would be in a short, right? And in this case, price is about to close this candle, right? From 9 a.m. to 9:59. Is about to close this entire candle, this hourly candle. This is definitely lower quality than like if price closed below the previous candle range, okay? Previous candle high. If it closed above, then there's like the banks aren't really considering to enter this trade, you know? So but the thing is, you can't really predict that, right? Price could just make like a TBS all the fucking way up here, and then like it could just suddenly drop just below right here, and then you would have missed out like on like a killer trade just because you thought it was gonna close outside this range, outside the hourly candle's range, okay? But I guess you just kind of take risks, So yeah, this is pretty much what I am like. I am way more like resonating with. Like I fully agree to the fact that highs and lows are the only important things in trading, right? Highs and lows equals stop losses / orders, right? Just target orders and make sure your stop losses are also the bank's stop losses. That's all you gotta do, really, and you'll probably be profitable. So yeah, that being said, I'm just gonna close out this video now. I honestly think that this should be the strategy I stick to for who knows how long, but I'm just gonna go ahead and stick to this for like a few weeks, a few months maybe. Like I think I want to do at least, and I mean at least 3 months. If like 3 months of sticking to the CRT TBS, I'll probably be profitable by the end. Like let's be real, okay? The strategy probably has like a 50% win rate, and the RR is like flexible, but you could get minimum 1 to 2s. So that's pretty profitable if you ask me, right? So yeah, I'm gonna close out the video now. I've been ranting for like 50 minutes, so that's pretty gay. But yeah, I guess that's episode 23 of JTB. Just a lot of ranting, nothing actually going on today. So yeah, thank you all for watching. So yeah, see y'all next time. Peace.